Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 688, which means basically 688 consecutive days of blogging and podcasting at the same time. So there was no day off. This project is about consistency and continuous journaling, and at the moment I'm back journaling. So basically every single day I record the episode and write the blog post about the previous day, what happened, my thoughts about certain things, if anything comes up to my head. And today I decided to use the opportunity that Elizabeth and Julian are a bit far ahead of me and record this episode a little bit different, in a different setting, not in the car or anywhere at home. I'm currently in the forest, as you can see. It's a place where we come sometimes to see if there are any mushrooms, but at the same time we do the family walk or just walk together with my wife. It's a very nice place. Not sure if you can see, there are windmills, or sorry, I don't know how you call them. It's a wind farm basically. One of those eco green farms that basically just have some, I think they are called windmills, that collect the wind energy basically and transfer it to electric grid to provide some green energy, so called. It's still quite controversial because we know that these big fans have a fairly short lifespan of about 10-12 years before they need maintenance, and probably they barely make up for the investment. So I guess it's still a work in progress to get that technology really green. But regardless what the opinion is of the people, we need to try new things and see if they work out for us, because without testing, obviously we won't find the proper technologies to supply us with energy in the future in a more economic and ecological way. So yesterday was quite dull because we only deployed sauna in the evening. The morning time on that bank holiday Monday, which was a national holiday in Ireland, we couldn't deploy because Elizabeth had a session booked for massage, sports massage, because her muscles were tense over the last couple of months or even years, and I was trying to tell her that she should get a proper massage, and she didn't for quite a while. So finally she booked the massage and spent about 2 hours on a proper full body sports massage. So that's great because it's very healthy and she needed that. While in the meantime, Julian and myself, we went for a bit of grocery shopping in the morning, and then while waiting for Elizabeth, we decided to go for one of the geocaches in the area that we didn't find yet, and we were successful. We collected that geocache. Well, collected, you don't collect them, you just find them. There is a little kind of report sheet or kind of signing book or signing sheet in the geocache, which is usually some box. We signed our findings so that we were there and hid it back into place for others to find out. We saw in the logbook that there were people, some tourists I think from Germany or somewhere else, that found this box 2 or 3 days before us. So it's interesting to see how many geocachers or geocache finders are globally, and they collect those caches or kind of sign those caches when they find them from different parts of the world, which is very cool. And afterwards we obviously agreed that Julian and Elizabeth will stay at home. They will prep the dinner while I went for evening deploy. We had a couple of bookings but very little, and it was very quiet The weather was surprisingly nice. It was warm and sunny, so I was expecting that it might be very quiet, and indeed it was. The tide was coming fast and deep, so a lot of people were unaware and they were expecting that tide will not reach them, but some of the braver ones stayed until the last minute, and I actually filmed one person, last guy, driving off the shore, literally in the water. So I'll post it at the end of this episode for those of you that want to see it. It was a cool moment, and I actually met this guy and airdropped it between his and my iPhone, so he has like a memory from Ireland for future to show off to other people. So that was it pretty much. I stayed until the evening when the tide subsided enough that I could turn around on the beach. It's much easier and better to do that on the beach if it's possible, rather than reversing the trailer, which is quite difficult, especially when I'm alone and have nobody else to go behind and warn others and keep an eye on bypassers to not go under the trailer or get hit by it. So yeah, that was pretty much yesterday. Today, as you can see, we are on a family walk. I'm looking for some mushrooms here. Obviously, for the last 6.5, almost 7 minutes, I was recording it, so I couldn't find any mushroom while looking into camera. But that's about the time when the season starts. I hope I won't get too many ticks after this short reconnaissance. I don't see many mushrooms. There are some of them edible, but it's still early stage of the season. I expect that if the season bursts with more mushrooms, it will be probably closer to September, October. It's a very slow season in comparison to the last year. Last year I was finding mushrooms already in June, July, and this year seems to be very slow in development. It might end up being almost no mushrooms, because there are times where the season doesn't properly start and mycelium underground is sleeping for a year and not fruiting many bodies outside. So because obviously the mushrooms that you see above the ground are just like a fruit of the proper fungi underground. So, you know, sometimes the years are very quiet, and not only until the next year or the year after that the proper bloom happens and there's plenty of mushrooms. So it seems like it's very quiet this year so far. We'll see if it develops more. I need to be very careful, as you can see. I'm stepping down the very steep slope. So yeah, that was pretty much it. There is a little one here. Not sure if you will see it. And this one, sorry. Can you actually see it? Yeah, this little fella. This one might be edible. I don't really know this one well enough, so I won't be collecting it. I work in a sustainable way, so if I see plenty of mushrooms, I only take as many as I need to eat or dry up for future, and leave the rest of the bodies to ripen to the very end, spread the spores, and ensure more of that mushrooms will come in the coming years. So that's it for today. This is the wind farm. As you can see, most of them are really turning. It's windy. We are fortunate that it's pretty dry, so we might finish off not being soaking wet. I'm not sure how much of the wind you hear. Hopefully not much, because it's very annoying when I'm recording and it's windy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are on the globe. I wish you well, and stay tuned, and see you in the next episode tomorrow.